is. We are live from the main gym here on the campus of Ann Arbor Pioneer, where it is your Pioneer women varsity basketball team taking on the Saline Hornets. This is a battle with two teams that have only lost a single game apiece. The only game Pioneer lost was versus Saline. That was all the way back on the 23rd of February. Doesn't seem like that long ago, but lots have happened since then. That was a 58-34 win by Saline. Otherwise, Pioneer is 10-1. Most recently coming off a win on the 13th versus Monroe, 47-23, and beating Skyline back on the 11th, 54-18. So 10-1 is your Pioneer team. On the other side, Saline is 12-1. If we take a look at what they have done so far, they started off beating Monroe. That was a 66-27 win. They beat South Lyon back on the 13th of February. They beat Ypsilanti Lincoln on the 17th. Temperance Bedford on the 19th. We talked about that Pioneer game on the 23rd that they won. They beat then Huron on the 26th. That was a 70-33 win. They beat Ypsilanti on the 27th. 69-31. They beat Livonia Stevenson to start off the month. They beat Skyline, then Monroe, Ypsilanti Community, and Lincoln. So they were on a 12-game win streak. Then they faced Temperance Bedford back on the 13th, and Temperance Bedford was the home team. They won that one 48-63. So the Saline team has proved mortal. They have been very, very good, but so has Pioneer. So Pioneer looking to hand Saline their second loss. Saline looking to hand Pioneer their second loss. If we take a look at the SEC standings, Saline is right up at the top, 10-1 in the SEC. Pioneer 9-1. So Pioneer would love to get that 10th win and have one last loss if they can win this. Right behind them is Bedford, 9-2. Those are the teams in the SEC Red. They're above 500. That goes down to Monroe, 5-7. Ypsilanti, 4-6. Lincoln, 2-9. Huron, 1-8. And Skyline, 1-9. So battle for first place in the SEC here on the line. On the white division, it is Chelsea who is 6-0 on the season, unbeaten. 6-1 is Dexter. 5-2 is, or excuse me, let me try that again. Chelsea, unbeaten, 6-0 over in the white division. Jackson was the name I was trying to come up with. They are 6-1. Dexter right behind them at 5-2. Tecumseh 2-5. Pinckney 1-5, and Adrian 0-9. So looking to make some things happen before the tournament. If we take a look, we do have District 18 hosted by Saline. So the games will be over at Saline, and Pioneer is going to play on round one in District 18. They will take on Ypsilanti Community. That is a 5:30 game on the 22nd. We'll reach out and see if we can stream that. I know Saline has the NFHS system. So I'm not sure how that affects things, but we'll reach out and see what we can do and check out the schedule because we'd love to be there. But Pioneer starts off with that game back on the 22nd. Then the winner of that game, so if Pioneer is able to beat Ypsilanti, would take on Belleville. Belleville gets the bye. And that would be a 5:30 game on the 24th. But lots of basketball to happen, of course, before then. Pioneer has this game. Then they play Bedford on the 17th at Bedford. We've reached out to see if they would be willing or kind enough to let us stream that game. So we hope to have that game for you. Then they'll have the game here versus Ypsilanti on the 20th. We will have that that same day now. Pioneer Women's Hockey will play their first, Pioneer Women's Varsity Hockey will play their first playoff game. They get a first round bye. So we'll have that game at 4 o'clock for the women's hockey, and I believe it is, if I remember correctly, 12:30 for the women's basketball, 11 and 12:30. So we will have those games upcoming. So a little bit more to go here for Pioneer before the playoffs start on the 22nd. Saline gets the bye on the other side, by the way. Belleville getting a bye and Saline getting a bye. So Saline will play the winner of Huron versus Lincoln. Huron versus Lincoln playing right after Pioneer on the 22nd at 7 p.m. Then Saline playing the winner of those two at 7 p.m. on the 24th. So lots of good things happening, and we will get going here shortly as 47 seconds up on the board. And sorry, my cameraman stepped away as we have a little Sony screensaver there going on our camera. We'll get that off here momentarily, as we are getting ready for Michael, the public address announcer, across the way. So we will have the starting lineups, and I think we're going to start with the national anthem. So it's a big game here between these two teams. As there's the buzzer.
Good evening and welcome to the end for Pioneer High School for tonight's varsity match between the visiting Saline Hornets and the Pioneers. At this time,
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. As we're getting ready to go here, starting lineups as Michael will get going across the way.
Hornets introducing starter number 5 guard Kate Stemmer.
Kate Stemmer being announced for Saline. She comes out.
For the Pioneers, number 1 Jackie
Brian's being announced for Pioneer.
For the Saline Hornets, point guard number 12 or number 10 Emily Wilczynski.
Wilczynski being announced for Saline.
Number 24 Alexis Clark.
Clark being announced for Pioneer as a starter.
For the Saline Hornets, number 12 guard Ella Stemmer.
Stemmer comes out for Saline.
For the Pioneers, number 4 Lauren DeWolf.
DeWolf starting for Pioneer.
For the Hornets, number 23 guard Sophie Kanan.
Kanan being announced as a starter for Saline.
Number 14 Maya Hicks.
Hicks being announced as a starter for Pioneer.
For the Saline Hornets, at forward, number 22 Natalie Sweetland.
Sweetland being announced for Saline.
23 Felicia Stewart.
And Stewart for Pioneer starting.
The head coach of the Saline Hornets is Leanne Reed.
Leanne Ream, head coach for Saline. And Rachel, Alyssa, and David Dalton are the assistants for Pioneer. Your head coach is Tyrone Hicks. Assistant is Lawrence DeWolf. We are getting ready to go. The cheerleaders up in the stands to our right, the varsity cheerleading squad. We appreciate them here providing some atmosphere. It's Kate Stemmer to inbound right in front of us. Inbounding to Wilczynski. So we're getting ready to go. Action between these two teams, both with one loss, as Wilczynski bounce pass over on the near side to Emma Stemmer. Emma Stemmer over to Kate Stemmer on the far wing. Back over on the near side to Kanan. Kanan in the near corner. There's a shot by Sweetland. Three-pointer. That just went wide. Emma Stemmer with the rebound. That pulled off on the near side. Sweetland puts it into the near corner for Kanan. Kanan coming down the near baseline. Trying to put it up to Emma Stemmer. Now Kate Stemmer gets the rebound in the far corner. Kate Stemmer double team. Gets it over to Sweetland. Sweetland moves it over. That put up by Wilczynski. Pulling away with it is DeWolf. Pioneer with it. Wolf comes up court, hands it off to Hicks on the far wing. Hicks tries to get into the far corner. Long cross-court pass over to Bryans. Bryans coming down the baseline. That tipped out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball as Emma Stemmer got her hands on it. DeWolf will inbound baseline left underneath her own basket for Pioneer. As DeWolf gets it out over to Stewart. Stewart on the far sideline, makes her way on the far wing. Stewart picks up her dribble, kicks over to Hicks. Hicks on the far wing. Hicks dribbles to the baseline, cuts down the baseline, bounce pass over to DeWolf on the near corner. DeWolf spins with it on the near wing. DeWolf dribbles to her right. Over to Bryans, top of the key. Bryans bounce pass over to Hicks. Hicks puts up a long three-pointer. That off the rim, rolls back. Out of bounds, that will be Saline ball. 0-0 is our score. 6:52 left to go here in the first quarter. Kate Stemmer inbounds it to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer bringing it down for the Hornets. As there's a foul on Jackie Bryans on that rebound. Sweetland has it, top of the key. Moves it over to Emma Stemmer for three. Emma Stemmer, that off the rim, pulled down by Hicks. Hicks coming the other direction for Pioneer. Hicks comes on the near wing. Hicks moves it over to DeWolf. DeWolf gets her way into the paint, puts it up. Trying to put it off glass. Contact made, that knocked away. Out of bounds to Pioneer. 6:28 left to go here in the first quarter. No points scored as of yet. DeWolf inbounds it, baseline left. DeWolf gets underneath to Clark. Clark puts it up, rims out. Coming the other direction, Kate Stemmer for the Hornets. Kate Stemmer comes, top of the key, coming on the far side, hands it off to Wilczynski. Wilczynski back over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer kicks on the far side to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer on the edge of the paint. There's a three-pointer. That off the back of the rim. Rebound gotten by Kanan. That comes off the near side off the rim. Pulled down by Stewart. Coming the other direction is DeWolf for Pioneer. Hicks has it in the far corner. Hicks puts it up. That off the side of the glass. Trying to get it. That tipped away by Saline. The Hornets have it coming the other direction. Kate Stemmer trying to get it over to Kanan. Kanan trying to save it. Out of bounds. That'll go over to Pioneer. 5:47 left to go here in the first period. 0-0 is our score. Stewart inbounds it. Gets it to DeWolf. DeWolf coming ahead. Coming down the far sideline for Pioneer. DeWolf gets over half court on the far wing, hands it off, or fake the handoff to Hicks, gets it to Stewart, top of the key, over to Bryans on the near wing. Bryans being watched by Wilczynski, and knocked away from Hicks, battle for it, trying to keep it out of bounds. Clark gets it. Clark trying to go up with it, as there was a whistle. And a foul on Kanan. Kanan picks up her first foul, one apiece, as Bryans picked up the first foul on Pioneer. Pioneer inbounds, baseline left. DeWolf looking to inbound. DeWolf gets over to Hicks on the far wing. Hicks dribbles to her right, gets into the baseline. Hicks trying to get it underneath. That tipped away and out of bounds. That'll be Saline ball. 5:21 left to go here in the first quarter. Emma Stemmer brings ahead for the Hornets as she goes over the blockades, being watched by Hicks. Emma Stemmer gets it over to Sweetland. Sweetland dribbles to her left. Now hands off to Kanan. Kanan trying to get her way into the paint. That tipped away, but grabbed by Wilczynski into the near corner. That put up by Kanan off the rim and pulled down by Pioneer. DeWolf with the rebound, comes ahead to the top of the key. DeWolf has that poked away, but gets it back over to Clark. Clark moves it over to Brines on the far wing. Brines for three, and off the glass and in. Off and rattled in and down. Pioneer up 3-0. 4:43 left to go here in the first. As Kanan has it for the Hornets, getting it into the paint, puts it up off glass. That bounces off the front, the back of the rim. Pioneer up 3-0. Kanan is to the line. Bryans picks up her second foul. Kanan puts up the first shot. Bounces off the front of the rim, comes down the near side. Kanan will have one more shot coming. Bryans gets a rest. Out there you have Covington, Clark, DeWolf, Hicks, and Stewart for Pioneer. Second one good for Kanan, as that is the first points for Saline, as it's Pioneer 3, Saline 1. DeWolf comes up the far sideline for Pioneer over half court. DeWolf gets a screen from Clark, comes up top of the key into the paint. DeWolf moves it over. Clark puts up an 18-footer, that off the back of the rim. Stewart trying to tip that corralled by Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer sends ahead for the Hornets. On the far side, Ella Stemmer hands it off to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer, top of the key, over to Ella Stemmer. On the far wing, Ella Stemmer steps back. Right on the blockades for Pioneer. 4 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the first. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her left, gets to the free throw line, now kicks it to Wilczynski. Wilczynski puts up a 10-footer, up and in. Pioneer 3, Saline 3. There's a timeout called. We'll take it with them. We'll play a little push on. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. It is 3-3 here live at the main gym on the campus of Ann Arbor Pioneer. Clark inbound, baseline right. Looks like a Greg Wycliffe in the house, so a couple reporters here reporting on the game. We appreciate that. It's a wonderful game between these two squads and deserves a lot of airtime, as that over to Covington on the near wing, gets it to Hicks. Hicks puts up a three-pointer. Hicks rattles off the front. The back of the rim won't go down. Clark going up. Whistle blown. Clark will go to the line as Saline picks up. Their second foul, Stemmer. Kate Stemmer picks up her first foul. Clark toes the line, dribbles, spins the ball, puts it up, and off the back of the rim, the side of the rim, then falls off the front. Tough luck bounce there. Clark will get another one. Trying to break the tie. 3-3 currently. Ford comes in for Saline. Gives Wilczynski a rest. Clark toes the line, dribbles. Puts it up, puts it in. Clark with her first points of the game. Pioneer 4, Saline 3, as Ella Stemmer brings it over half court for the Hornets. Comes up top of the key. Ella Stemmer into the paint. That knocked away by Clark. Picked up by Kanan. Kanan, that moved over to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer, top of the key. Over to Ella Stemmer for three. That off the front of the rim, pulling it down Clark. Clark gets the rebound quickly to Hicks. Hicks brings it ahead for Pioneer over half court. Hicks on the near wing. Hicks dribbles to her right. Bounce pass over to Covington. Covington gets it back out to Stewart. Stewart on the far wing, hands it off to DeWolf. DeWolf comes top of the key to the free throw line. DeWolf bounce pass over to Hicks in the near corner. Hicks works her way around the arc. Hicks kicks it underneath at the Clark. Clark back to DeWolf on the far wing. DeWolf gets into the paint, floats it up, then off the front of the rim. Clark trying to grab it. DeWolf gets her own rebound. DeWolf under the paint, puts it up. That off the rim, would not fall. Clark with the rebound, battle for it. There's a whistle. As that is going to go on Kanan. That is Kanan's second foul. 3 on Saline, 2 on Pioneer. Pioneer will inbound baseline left underneath their own basket. Kanan goes out for a breather. As that put up by Covington wouldn't fall off the rims. Sweetland with the rebound. That's sent over to Eugenie. Eugenie gets it over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer over to Sweetland. Sweetland dribbles to her right, top of the key. That poked away by Hicks. Battle for it. Out of bounds. That goes over to Pioneer. Pioneer 4, Saline 3. 2:28 left to go here in the first quarter. Hicks inbounds, gets it to DeWolf. DeWolf calling out signals for Pioneer. DeWolf brings it over half court. DeWolf working against Kate Stemmer, gets a screen from Clark. DeWolf at the free throw line. DeWolf moves it over to Covington. Covington back top of the key to Stewart. Stewart moves over to Hicks on the far wing. Hicks gets a screen from Covington. Now dumps it underneath to Covington. Covington trying to get into the paint, puts it off glass. Not quite hard enough, but gets it. Now that shot off the bottom of the rim, puts up for a third time, would not fall off the front. The back of the rim fell away, but a foul called. As that goes foul on Ford, that is 4 fouls on Saline, 2 on Pioneer. As Covington goes to the line, shooting 2. Covington puts up the first. That off the back of the rim, rims off the right-hand side. Covington has one more shot coming. Covington puts it up. That off the side of the rim. Covington gets a rebound, puts it up and in. Kayla Covington gets her first points of the game. 1 minute, 53 seconds left to go. Pioneer up 6-3. That brought ahead by Kate Stemmer for the Hornets. Kate Stemmer has it Eugenie on the near wing. Eugenie gets it over to Ford. Ford over to Ella Stemmer on the far wing. Ella Stemmer puts up an 18-footer, puts it in. That's her first points of the game. 1 point lead for Pioneers. Hicks brings it ahead for Pioneer over half court. Hicks dribbles to her right. Trying to get a stream from Clark. Ella Stemmer fights through it, gets it over. There's DeWolf for 3. Then off the back of the rim. Clark trying to get it. That off of the fingertips of Clark, out of bounds. That'll go over to Saline. 6:50 left to go. Or excuse me, it's 6-5. Pioneer with the lead. 1:15 left to go is what I was trying to say. Kate Stemmer brings it over half court for the Hornets. Hicks watching her. Kate Stemmer, bounce pass over on the near side. That to Eugenie. Eugenie trying to get it underneath. Emma Stemmer moves it over to Sweetland. Hands it off to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer over to Kate Stemmer on the far wing. Gets it over to Sweetland. Now back to Ella Stemmer. That off the rim. Pulling it away. Covington quickly over to Stewart. 48 seconds left to go in the first. Pioneer up by 1, 6-5. Stewart has it for Pioneer on the far wing. As Eugenie coming out to cover her, and they call a foul on Pioneer. I think they got Covington for a moving screen. Kate Stemmer inbounds it, bringing it ahead. That over to Eugenie into the near corner. That three-point shot is good by Ella Stemmer. She has 5 points as it's a 2-point lead by Saline, 8-6. 22 seconds left to go in the first. DeWolf comes over half court for Pioneer. DeWolf gets a screen from Clark. DeWolf on the far wing comes up top of the key. Now into the paint, puts it off glass and in with the left hand. DeWolf gets on the board. That's her first points. 8-8 is our score. Coming ahead, Ella Stemmer has it on the far wing. DeWolf watching her. She tries to kick that. I think there was a shot that DeWolf got a piece of it. And that is the end of the first. At the end of one, it is 8-8. Taking a look for Pioneer. 3 points for Bryans, 2 points for DeWolf, 2 points for Covington, and a point for Clark. Over on the Saline side, it's 5 points for Ellis Stemmer, 2 points for Winchinsky, and 1 point for Kanan. And that's where we stand. How about a little push on to keep you fired up? You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. 8 minutes up on the board as we head into the second quarter. 8-8 is our score, all knotted up between these two teams. 12-1 Saline, 10-1 Pioneer. Stewart inbound right in front of us. Eugenie watching her. Stewart gets it to Hicks. Hicks over half court. Hicks ahead for Pioneer on the far wing. Hicks tries to get to the baseline, puts it off glass, then off the front of the rim. As rebound by Covington, whistle blown. That'll go over to Saline. They'll call that foul on Pioneer. And that'll be Covington's second, I believe. 4 fouls on Pioneer, 4 fouls on Saline as Eugenie has it into the near corner for Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer works her way into the paint, puts it up, that off the side of the rim, and puts it up, gets the rebound, puts it up again, whistle blown. Covington picks up a foul. That's 5 fouls on Pioneer, 4 on Saline. Ella Stemmer to the line, shooting 2. Ella Stemmer puts it up, puts it in. That is her 6th point. Bryans comes in for Pioneer, replacing Covington. Giving Covington a breather. One more shot coming. As Ella Stemmer puts it up, puts it in. 7 points for Ella Stemmer. It is 10 for Saline, 8 for Pioneer, 7:37 left to go here in the second. DeWolf brings ahead for Pioneer as she goes over half court. DeWolf dribbling has Kate Stemmer watching her, gets a screen from Stewart, kicks it over to Hicks on the far wing. Hicks moves it underneath the Stewart. Stewart on the baseline, far baseline, gets it over to Hicks. Hicks at the free throw line over to Bryans. Bryans top of the key. Bryans bounce pass over to Hicks. Hicks trying to get it low post to Clark. That's just a little high for her. That'll go over to Saline. Saline with the ball in the 2-point lead. 7:12 left to go here in the first half. Coming ahead with it is Wilchinsky for the Hornets. Wilchinsky being watched by Bryans. Bounce pass over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer over on the far side. That over to Eugenie. Eugenie back over to Kate Stemmer for 3. That off the side. Clark with the rebound. Clark gets it to Bryans. They're going to call travel. And that'll go back over to Saline. Saline with the ball, baseline right underneath their own basket. They have the 2-point lead, 6:55 left to go. Kate Stemmer to inbound, Kate Stemmer. That intercepted by DeWolf. DeWolf comes up for Pioneer over half court. DeWolf at the top of the key, comes over on the near wing. DeWolf dribbles to her right, gets top of the key, moves it over to Bryans on the far wing. Bryans dribbles to her right. Gets to the free throw line, comes down the side of the paint, back on the near wing. Bryans, long pass over to Stewart on the far wing, over to Hicks in the far corner. Hicks back to Stewart, Stewart top of the key over to Bryans. Bryans dribbles to her right, bounce pass over to Hicks. Hicks gets a screen from Stewart. Hicks goes to the free throw line. Hicks bounce pass over to DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf tries to get down towards the paint, stops, throws up a 17-footer. That just a little long, pulled down by Wilczynski. Here comes Saline, 6:09 left to go. The Hornets have it. Ellis Stemmer over half court, standing at the block A's. 2-point lead for Saline. Ellis Stemmer dribbles to her left, gets into the low post on the far side, puts it off glass and in. Ellis Stemmer has 9 points as Stewart has it over to Brines on the near wing for Pioneer. It's a 4-point lead by Saline. Stewart has it just outside the top of the key. Stewart dribbles to her left, gets it over to Hicks. Manages to slip past and out of bounds. That will be Saline ball. 5:34 left to go here in the first half. Sorry, did they call a foul? I think they did 5 fouls on Pioneer, 4 on Saline. That brought ahead by Wilczynski. Wilczynski being watched by Brines. That kicked over to Eugenie. Eugenie over to Sweetland. Sweetland over to Ellis Stammer. Underneath, Sweetland on the post. That pulled away by DeWolf. Here comes Pioneer with it. DeWolf over half court. DeWolf kicks it over to Hicks on the near wing. Trying to get it underneath. Trying to kick it to Clark. Whistle and a foul.
Foul is on Saline number. Foul's on Saline number 42.
That goes on Sweetland. That foul. 5 fouls apiece on both teams. DeWolf will inbound baseline left. DeWolf gets it to Brines in the near corner. Brines dumps it underneath to Clark. That pulled away. Clark and Sweetland on the ground. That'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Saline. So Saline with the ball, baseline left. They have the 4-point lead, 12-8, 5:07 left to go. As Wilczynski brings it ahead for the Hornets over half court. Brines watching her. And timeout called by Saline. We'll take it with them. We'll play a message from the MHSAA. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
It's the Pioneer cheer team. Just to provide a little atmosphere here as Saline is up 12-8 on Pioneer here in the second quarter. 5:01 left to go here in that second quarter before halftime. Kate Stemmer will inbound right in front of us. Kate Stemmer gets it over to Wilczynski. Wilczynski over half court, being watched by Brines. Bounce pass over to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer, top of the key. Gets over to Sweetland. Sweetland hands it off. Now Ellis Stemmer has it just outside, top of the key. Hands it off to Wilczynski. Wilczynski dribbles to her right. Bounce pass over to Eugenie on the near wing. Trying to inbound it over to Sweetland. That knocked away by Clark, but she picks up the foul. That's going to be 6 fouls on Pioneer. Clark's first foul, according to my notes. As Eugenie will inbound baseline right. Gets it over to Ellis Stemmer, who puts it up and off the front of the rim. As battle for it, Kate Stemmer gets the rebound, top of the key. Spins, gets it back to Ellis Stemmer. About 5 feet off of the top of the key. Moves over on the near side to Sweetland. Sweetland from the near wing. That off the rim, pulled down Brines. And here comes Pioneer. DeWolf coming down the far sideline for Pioneer. Hicks on the far wing. Gets underneath to Clark. Clark puts it up, spins it in. Clark with 3 points. Pioneer down by 2. As Saline 12, Pioneer 10. Wilczynski brings ahead for the Hornets. Gets it back now on the near wing. Puts it in the near corner for Ellis Stemmer. And that put up and in 3-pointer for Ellis Stemmer. That makes it 15 points for Saline, 10 for Pioneer. DeWolf brings ahead for Pioneer. Coming down the far sideline, hands it off to Hicks. Hicks on the far wing. Hicks works her way around the arc. On the near wing she goes. Hicks kicks it back to Stewart. Stewart, top of the key, gets into the paint, puts it off glass with the left hand. Wouldn't fall. Clark with the rebound. She goes down to the paint. As both she and Eugenie go to the paint. So 6 fouls apiece. That one goes on Eugenie. Pioneer to inbound, baseline left. DeWolf to inbound. DeWolf kicks it all the way to Stewart. Stewart on the near wing. Being watched by Eugenie. Stewart dribbles to her right and across the blockades, hands it off to DeWolf. DeWolf dribbles, comes onto the far wing, into the far corner, hands off to Brines. Brines on that far wing, kicks it back, top of the key to Hicks. Hicks dribbles to her right, gets a screen from Clark. Hicks comes down to the baseline, puts it up. That off the rim, trying to grab that underneath, pulled away by Ellis Stemmer. As Saline has the 5-point lead and the ball. Ellis Stemmer comes ahead for the Hornets, hands it off to Wilczynski. Back on the near corner for Eugenie. Now Ellis Stemmer for three, and she hits it. That is her third three-pointer, as the last two came right from that corner, as it's 18-10. Saline with the lead. DeWolf comes over half court. DeWolf for Pioneer. Works her way onto the far wing, hands it off to Hicks. Hicks dribbles to her left, top of the key. Hicks on the near wing, gets over to Brines in the near corner. Brines works her way around the arc, bounce pass over to Stewart. Stewart on the far wing. Stewart gets into the paint, puts it up, that off the rim. Clark gets the rebound. Clark off glass and in. Alexis Clark with 5 points. It's a 6-point lead for Saline as Wilczynski brings it ahead for the Hornets. Gets it on the far wing to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer spins, gets it back to Wilczynski as DeWolf watching her. Eugenie trying to get it underneath to Sweetland. Now Ellis Stemmer puts it up, but a travel called. That'll go over to Pioneer. 6 fouls apiece for both teams in this half, 2:10 left to go before halftime. 6-point lead by Saline. DeWolf brings it ahead for Pioneer. DeWolf comes over half court on the near wing. DeWolf comes over on the far wing. Now hands off to, or excuse me, that was Hicks. Hicks hands off to DeWolf. DeWolf gets over to Stewart. Stewart back over to Hicks in the far corner. Hicks puts it up. Off the rim, trying to get it Brines. Brines grabs it. Brines battling. That pulled away by Sweetland. Coming up, Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer comes over half court. Kate Stemmer kicks it over to Eugenie. Eugenie puts it up. That high off the glass. Pulled down by Brines. Knocked away. Pulled away by Saline. Putting it up and in is Ellis Stemmer. 20 points for Saline. 12 for Pioneer. 1:28 left to go. DeWolf has it on the far wing. DeWolf to the free throw line. Steps back. Gets it over to Hicks on the near wing. Hicks gets into the paint. Puts it off glass and in. Maya Hicks gets her first points of the game. 6-point lead by Saline. Wilczynski brings it ahead for the Hornets. Bounce pass over on the near side to Eugenie. Eugenie getting it underneath to Sweetland. Sweetland goes down, that grab by Clark. Here comes DeWolf for Pioneer. 1 minute left to go before halftime. DeWolf hands it on the near wing. DeWolf hands it over to Brines. Brines puts it up for three. That off the side of the rim, pulling it down. That's Ellis Stemmer. Ellis Stemmer over half court for Saline. Ellis Stemmer on the near wing, hands it off. That over to Kate Stemmer. Back to Ellis Stemmer. Ellis Stemmer on that near wing, dribbles to her left, being watched by DeWolf. As she comes into the paint, kicks it into the near corner, trying to get it over to Kate Stemmer, and that just a little hot out of bounds. 34 seconds left to go before halftime. 20 points for Saline, 14 for Pioneer, 6-point lead. DeWolf brings it ahead for Pioneer. Pioneer will play for the last possession of the game as DeWolf comes down far sideline over half court. DeWolf dribbles to her right, stops. DeWolf looking for a place to go. 15 seconds left to go. Clark comes over, gives her a screen. DeWolf floats it over, then to Stewart. Stewart gets it to Hicks. Hicks, top of the key. Hicks underneath to Clark. Clark in the paint, trying to move it over to Brines. There's a whistle. And that is going to go over to Saline. 5.5 seconds left to go. That rolled in Coming ahead is Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer moves over to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer for three. And off the front of the rim. That will do it for the first half. At the end of the first half, it is Saline 20, Pioneer 14. Your scores for Pioneer: 5 points for Hicks, 3 points for Brines, 2 points for DeWolf, 2 points for Hicks, 2 points for Covington. As we take a look, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points for Stemmer at halftime. 1 for Kanan and 2 for Wilczynski. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Pioneer varsity cheer team. A fantastic Pioneer varsity cheer squad in the house. We appreciate them providing some wonderful atmosphere out there as we will now do our intermission scoreboard report. Today's intermission scoreboard report. If we take a look at our... Let me see if I can find which tab that's on. As we take a look at action in the SEC over the weekend for ladies basketball, it was Jackson beating Adrian back on the 12th, 59-18. Texter beat Tecumseh 37-24. On the 13th, it was Father Gabriel Richard beating Adrian 54-15. Pioneer beat Monroe 47-23. Also on the 13th, it was Huron beating Skyline 41-39, as well as Bedford beating Saline 48-36. Saline's only loss of the season so far. As well, Ypsilanti beat Ypsilanti Lincoln 58-38. That is your intermission scoreboard report. We'll take a moment. We'll step away as we have halftime here. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA. You are watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform, why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Power Ratings will be used this year in soccer, basketball, and boys lacrosse to seed the district tournament in those sports, and you can follow along. Visit your school's page on the MHSAA website to see how your team is faring, and you can look at statewide lists as well. And if you see your team is missing a score, submit it. Learn more about the Michigan Power Rankings at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Sportsmanship is still relevant in school sports. Good sportsmanship should be a given at our games. It's one of the primary reasons we have school sports to begin with, to help today's young people become tomorrow's community leaders. You can learn more about sportsmanship and download a full kit of sportsmanship ideas from the MHSAA website at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're getting ready to go, not only do we have the cheer team, but the Junior varsity basketball team over trying to give Pioneer a little bit of a crowd home court advantage. As we're getting ready to go, it is 20 points for Saline, 14 points for Pioneer. 6-point lead as we head into the third. Live from the campus of Ann Arbor Pioneer in the main gym. As Saline will inbound right in front of us. Excuse me, Pioneer inbound. As Hicks comes over to inbound. Now Hicks will inbound right in front of us. Gets it over to DeWolf in the backcourt. DeWolf brings it ahead for Pioneer. Saline up by 6. Pioneer trying to cut in the lead. DeWolf on the near wing. Hands it off to Hicks. Hicks works her way around the arc. Top of the key. Hicks gets it over to Brines on the far wing. Brines dribbles to her right. Brines hands it off to DeWolf. DeWolf trying to work her way in. DeWolf backs off. Hands it to Hicks. Hicks top of the paint. Trying to put up a shot from the free throw line. Sweetland knocked it, but Harris gets the rebound. Harris moves over to Brines on the near wing. Underneath, all the way over to Hicks on the far side. That one just off of her fingertips out of bounds. That goes to Saline. 7:27 left to go as bringing it ahead is Kanan for the Hornets. She comes over half court. Kanan moves it over the near side to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer, top of the key, trying to get it underneath to Sweetland. Sweetland bounce pass over to Ellis Stemmer, who puts it up and puts it in. That is 19 points for Ellis Stemmer. Here comes DeWolf for Pioneer in along the far sideline as it's an 8-point lead. Brines gives the screen. DeWolf hands it off to Harris. Harris top of the key and goes down, whistle blown, as that is going to go against Ellis Stemmer. That is her first foul of the half. Hicks will inbound just to our right. Hicks bounces it over to DeWolf. DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf dribbles to her left. Gets to the free throw line. DeWolf backs off. Top of the key. Hands off to Harris. Harris comes into the paint. Now moves it over to Hicks. Hicks floats it up. That off the rim. Gets a rebound. Goes up. Foul called. Kanan picks up a foul. Hicks goes to the line, shooting 2. Hicks toes the line, puts it up. Rolls all the way around and down. Hicks has 3 points, looking for 4, trying to cut it. It's a 7-point lead, trying to cut it to a 6-point lead now. Hicks toes the line, dribbles the ball, bends the knees, puts it up. That falls off to the near side, off the rim. As pulling it, Sweetland had the rebound. Here comes the Hornets as Ellis Stemmer has it. Top of the key, Ellis Stemmer, bounce pass over on the near side to Yegeni. That moved over, picking up Wachinski. Wachinski hands it off to Yegeni. Sweetland has it in the far corner, gets it back to Wachinski. Wachinski into the near corner for Kate Stemmer. Back top of the key for Ellis Stemmer. Now that dumped underneath for Sweetland over to Ellis Stemmer. Ellis Stemmer puts it up. That rebound grabbed by Wachinski. Wachinski puts it up. That loose. Clark pulls it down. 6:03 left to go here in the third. Bounce pass over to DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf works her way. Top of the key. Now hands it off to Brines. Brines top of the key. Brines steps back. Brines comes on the near wing into the near corner for Hicks. Hicks being watched by Ellis Stemmer. Hicks gets it to Harris, top of the key. Harris over to DeWolf. DeWolf comes far wing. DeWolf trying to get into the low post. Now puts it up and puts it in. Nice 12-footer for DeWolf. She has 4 points, and it is now a 5-point lead. Ellis Stemmer brings it over center for the Hornets. Moves it to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer into the near corner for Yegeni. Now Kate Stemmer has it top of the key. Kate Stemmer gets it. Ellis Stemmer on the near wing. That's a 3-pointer. As I believe she just broke 20 points, 5:06 left to go. DeWolf brings it over half court for Pioneer. On the near wing, hands it off to Harris. Harris, top of the key, spins with it, gets it back to DeWolf on the near wing. As it's an 8-point lead by Saline. As DeWolf, and they will call a foul as DeWolf trying to come down the far side of the paint. That is going to be on Kate Stemmer. That's her second foul. 3 fouls on Saline this half. Pioneer has yet to pick up a foul. DeWolf to inbound. Baseline right. DeWolf gets it back to Hicks. Hicks puts up a 3-pointer. Then off the front of the rim, the glass. Covington gets the rebound. Puts it up, puts it in. 6-point lead by the Hornets. They have the ball. Wilczynski gets it over to Yugini. Yugini over to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer moves it back. Ella Stemmer puts up the 3-pointer and hits it. She is deadly from range and all over. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-pointers in the game so far, and it is a 9-point lead. As DeWolf has it along the far sideline. DeWolf gets a screen from Clark, top of the key. DeWolf goes into the paint, kicks it back. Hicks for 3. Hicks hits it! Maya Hicks now has 6 points. Answers back the 3-pointer. 6-point lead for Saline. That pulled over. Sweetland has it on the baseline, kicks it back. There's a 3-pointer. That off the rim, trying to grab it. Clark has it now. Hicks coming ahead for Pioneer. Hicks coming down the near side, gets it ahead to DeWolf. DeWolf into the paint. DeWolf over to Harris. Harris moves it back to Clark. Clark at the top of the free throw line, puts it up. Not quite strong enough. Pulled down by Sweetland. Sweetland ahead to Kate Stemmer. Here comes the Hornets. Ella Stemmer has it on the near wing. She works her way to the baseline. Bounce pass over to Sweetland. Sweetland top of the key. Sweetland puts over on the far corner as Wilczynski puts up the shot. And that goes out of bounds as trying to pull it down. It hit the baseline. Now go over to Pioneer. Saline 28, Pioneer 22. 3:23 left to go here in the third. Hicks to inbound, baseline left. Hicks gets it to DeWolf. DeWolf coming down the far sideline for Pioneer. 6-point lead for Saline. DeWolf over half court, coming down the far sideline. DeWolf on the far wing, gets a screen from Stewart. DeWolf top of the key, stops, moves it to Covington. Covington on the far wing. Over to Harris in the far corner, gets a screen from Covington. There's a whistle. They're going to call Covington for a moving screen. That'll be her third foul, I believe. First foul on Pioneer.
Foul is on number 33, Kayla Covington.
As Coach Hicks gets an explanation. Kate Stemmer inbounds, bringing it ahead over half court. That over to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer over to Ford, gets it back. Kate Stemmer to the free throw line, moves it to Sweetland. Sweetland puts up a 10-footer. That a little strong, trying to pull it. Covington has it. Covington over to Hicks. Here comes Pioneer. Hicks over half court. Hicks on the near wing. Hicks floating underneath for Covington off the glass. Just a little too strong, but a whistle. That foul goes on Sweetland. That's 4 fouls on Sweetland, 1 for Pioneer here in the third. 6-point lead for Saline. Covington at the line shooting 2, looking to chip into it. First one is off the back of the rim. Covington has another one coming. Covington toes the line, dribbles the ball, bends the knees, puts it up. That off the glass, wouldn't fall, came off to the near side. Kate Stemmer with the rebound. Kate Stemmer ahead to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer over half court for the Hornets, being watched by DeWolf, and timeout called by Saline. They have the 6-point lead. We'll play a little message from the MHSAA. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are here at the main gym on the campus of Ann Arbor Pioneer, 2 minutes, 29 seconds left to go in the third. Saline up 28-22, the 6-point lead. Battle for first place in the SEC. Red. As Kate Stemmer will inbound right in front of us. Gets it over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer right on the blockades. Dribbles to her right. Being watched by Stewart. Ella Stemmer top of the key. Hands off to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer back to Ella Stemmer on the near wing. Ella Stemmer gets towards the paint. Puts it up. That falls off to the side. Off the rim. Picked up by DeWolf. DeWolf for Pioneer. Heads the other direction. DeWolf, top of the key, comes over on the far wing. DeWolf trying to get it underneath to Clark. Clark over to Hicks. Hicks from the near wing for three. That one just off to the left-hand side. That is going to be Saline ball. 2:01 left to go here in the third. 6-point lead for the Hornets. Kate Stemmer inbounds it to Ella Stemmer. The Hornets come up court. Over half court. Stewart watching Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer hands it to Sweetland on the far wing. Sweetland gets it back to Ella Stemmer on the near wing. Ella Stemmer gets into the paint, puts it up, that off the front of the rim. Sweetland with the rebound, that back over to Ella Stemmer for three. That off to the side, pulling it down is DeWolf as it hit the front, the side of the rim and fell off. DeWolf on the far wing for Pioneer, gets into the paint, puts it up with the finger roll. Wouldn't fall. Clark with the rebound, trying to get it over to Stewart. Stewart does a good job not going over half court. Timeout called by Pioneer. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go here in the third. 6-point lead by Saline. Let's play another message from the MHSAA.
Maybe you've seen the videos of the specialized sports parent support group, or the kid holding a press conference to announce his retirement from sports. The problem is, they'd be really funny if there wasn't a lot of truth there. Multi-sport participation provides a healthier experience and lifestyle for kids and families. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you want to reach the broadcast, you can email us at arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go here in the third. 6-point lead by Saline. Pioneer breaks the huddle. Saline is finishing up last moment instructions from their coaching staff. Hicks to inbound right in front of the scorer's bench. Hicks gets it over to DeWolf. DeWolf, top of the key, gets a screen from Stewart. DeWolf moves over to Stewart on the far wing. Stewart gets it over to Brines. Brines near wing. Dribbles to her left, comes over to the far wing, hands it off to Hicks. Hicks, top of the key. Hicks hands it off to DeWolf. DeWolf gets to the free throw line. DeWolf trying to dribble into the paint, puts it up with the left hand, and double dribble called. That is going to go over to Saline. Saline ball. The Hornets have the 6-point lead. Ella Stemmer brings it ahead as she comes over half court. Ella Stemmer on the far wing, comes up top of the key. Ella Stemmer loses it, gets the handle back. Ella Stemmer calling out signals. Now gets the free throw line, hands off to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer underneath to Sweetland. Sweetland bounces in the far corner. That put up for three, just a little long. Ella Stemmer with the rebound, puts it up, and a foul called as that was Kangas who put up the three-pointer. Clark picks up her second foul of the game. Ella Stemmer to the line, puts up the first one, puts it in. Stemmer toes the line. Ella Stemmer puts it up, puts in the second free throw. She is deadly Free throws, 3-pointers, 2-pointers. She has the lead of any scorer. Here comes DeWolf for Pioneer. Hands off to Hicks. Hicks works her way around the arc, gets a screen from Stewart. Moves over to Brines on the far wing. Brines gets it back to Stewart, top of the key. Stewart calling out signals. It's an 8-point lead by Saline. 18 seconds left to go in the third. DeWolf has it. DeWolf playing for the last shot of the quarter. Moving it to Stewart. Stewart on the far wing. Stewart dribbles to her right. Stewart has Ford watching her. Stewart gets baseline, puts it off glass, rolled around, wouldn't go down, and that is the end of the third. At the end of 3, it's an 8-point lead by Saline. We'll take the timeout with them. Here is a little push on to get you fired up for the fourth quarter. 8 minutes up on the clock. Fourth quarter upcoming. 8-point lead by Saline as they have the 30-22 lead on your Pioneer women's varsity basketball team. 2 fouls on Pioneer this half, 4 on Saline. As the varsity cheer squad to our right providing some atmosphere, and the JV women's basketball team hanging around to cheer on the team. Wilczynski to inbound for Saline, over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer brings it over half court. Ella Stemmer, top of the key, bounce pass over to Sweetland. Sweetland on that far wing, moves it over to Ella Stemmer on the near wing. Ella Stemmer has that tipped away as she tried to get it to Sweetland, knocked away by Clark. Here comes Stewart into the paint, gets it to Clark, and last second pass there. Clark couldn't hang on to it, out of bounds over to Saline. 7:43 left to go. Here in the fourth, Kate Stemmer inbounds it to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer brings it ahead. Ella Stemmer calling out signals as she goes over half court. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her right, gets into the paint, puts it off glass, in, and a whistle.
Fouls on number Pioneer 23.
It's going to be on Stewart. Stewart picks up the foul. Ella Stemmer goes to the line. Ella Stemmer puts it up and in. I'm going to need a slide rule to calculate all of her points here. As pulling it ahead is DeWolf for Pioneer. It is a 11-point lead, largest of the game for Saline. Stewart has it, gets over to Hicks on the near wing, over to Brines on the baseline. Brines on the near wing, loses the handle, out of bounds. That'll go over to Saline. 7:18 left to go here in the fourth. 11-point lead by Saline. Ella Stemmer brings it ahead for the Hornets. She gets over half court, pointing out signal. Stewart watching her, gets over to Sweetland on the far wing. That tipped away by Clark. Sweetland gets it back. Sweetland moves over to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer back to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer motioning, trying to get everyone set the way she wants, and there is a whistle. Clark picks up her third foul, now 4 fouls apiece for each team in this half. Saline to inbound along the far baseline, quickly put up by Ella Stemmer. That off the rim. Wilczynski gets it over to Sweetland. Sweetland moves it to Ella Stemmer. She works her way around the arc. And over to Wilczynski. Caitlin Stemmer had it right on the near wing, and a travel. 6:46 left to go here in the fourth. 11-point lead. Pioneer trying to cut into it. DeWolf brings it ahead for Pioneer. DeWolf across the blockades over half court. DeWolf coming down the far sideline, being watched by Kate Stemmer. Hands it off to Brines. Brines over to Hicks on the near wing. Moves it to Stewart. Stewart on that near wing gets a screen from Clark. Stewart, whistle blown. That foul is going to go on Kanan. According to my records, that's her fourth, but we'll see. 5 fouls on Saline as Hicks inbounds it to DeWolf in the near corner. DeWolf trying to work her way into the paint. Bounce pass over to Bryans. Bryans puts up a 10-footer. That off the front of the rim, trying to pull it down. Sweetland has it, trying to pull it away. Bryans, bounce pass. That pulled away. Saline with it. Ella Stemmer. Hicks pleads her case on a carry, but a whistle blown. The officials talking things over, trying to make sure they get the right call. All three of them huddle up, which is what you want to see when something is in question. You love them to see exactly putting their heads together, trying to get the right call. Ella Stemmer picks up the foul. That'll be Pioneer ball. 6 fouls on Saline. One more. Pioneer in the bonus. 6:13 left to go. 11-point lead by Saline. DeWolf goes to inbound the ball. Baseline right. DeWolf gets it out to Stewart. Stewart on the near wing. Stewart dribbles to her left. Stewart working against Koenig. Gets a screen. Stewart to the baseline. Puts it up and puts it in. Felicia Stewart with her first points of the game. Huge points they are. 9-point lead as Wilczynski brings it ahead for Saline. Saline with the ball and the lead. Gets it over to Sweetland. Sweetland into the far corner. There's a three-pointer off the rim. Clark gets the rebound. Clark quickly ahead to Hicks. Hicks over half court. Hicks along the far wing. Hicks dribbles into the paint, trying to put it off glass. That knocked away. Foul called. Hicks shooting at the line. Toes it up, puts it up. Then off the front of the rim, falls to the side. 9-point lead as Kanan goes out. Wilczynski in. Hicks puts it up, puts it in. 7 points for Hicks. There's a whistle and a timeout called. Well, we'll take it with them. 5:40 left to go. It's 33 for Saline, 25 for Pioneer. 8-point lead.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
30 points for Ella Stemmer out of the 33. Wilczynski has 2 points and Kanan has 1 point. Every single one of the rest of the points is by Ella Stemmer on the Saline side. Saline with the ball. Kate Stemmer to inbound. They have the 8-point lead on Pioneer. Wilczynski has it, coming down the near sideline. Pioneer providing some full court pressure. Now Kate Stemmer comes over half court for the Hornets. Hands it off to Ella Stemmer in along the far sideline. Ella Stemmer working against Stewart. Ella Stemmer to the free throw line, bounces it over to Wilczynski. Wilczynski, that goes off mark. Picked up by Clark. Clark over to DeWolf. Here comes Pioneer. DeWolf over half court on the far wing. DeWolf dribbles to her right, puts up a long two-pointer. That rebound by Sweetland. Sweetland gets it over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer over half court. Ella Stemmer, top of the key, dribbles to her left, gets into the paint, puts it off glass. That a little hard. Clark with the rebound. 5 minutes left to go here in the fourth. 8-point lead by Saline. DeWolf has it for Pioneer on the far sideline. Gets into the paint, puts it off glass and in. DeWolf with 6 points, and that brings it down to a 6-point lead. It's been wrong before. And pulling it up, here comes Ella Stemmer over half court with the ball for the Hornets. Stewart watching her. Ella Stemmer on the far wing gets a screen by Sweetland. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her right, hands it off over to Eugenie. Eugenie back to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her right. Ella Stemmer, there is a foul. Reach and foul on Felicia Stewart. She picks up her second foul. 7 fouls on Saline, 5 on Pioneer. Covington comes in, giving Stewart a chance to rest. Kate Stemmer to inbound. Over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer being watched by Hicks. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her left. Bounce pass over to Wilczynski. Wilczynski moves it back to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer, top of the key. Kate Stemmer hands it off to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her left. Now steps back right on the P for Pioneer. Gets to her left. Hands it off to Wilczynski. Wilczynski back to Kate Stemmer. Over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer puts it off glass and in. That's 32 points for her. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. DeWolf comes over half court for Pioneer. DeWolf on the near wing gets a screen from Clark. DeWolf to the free throw line, spins with it. DeWolf kicks it over to Brines. Brines in the far corner. Brines dribbles to her right. Brines gets a screen from Covington, moves it over. Grabbing it, DeWolf on the near wing. DeWolf has Clark set up a screen for her. DeWolf into the far corner, puts it up for 3. That off the back of the rim. Clark gets the rebound. Clark puts it up, trying to put it up. Kate Stemmer picks up a foul. That is the 8th on Saline. Clark goes to the line, shooting 1 and 1. Guinea goes out for a breather. Kanan comes in. Clark dribbles. Bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Clark with her 6th point. One more free throw coming as it's a 7-point lead. Trying to get it down to a 6-point lead. Clark dribbles. Bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Clark hits both of them. 6-point lead. Timeout called. We'll play a little push on. Get you fired up for this last 3 minutes, 19 seconds left. You are watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. 3 minutes, 19 seconds left to go here in the fourth. It is a 6-point lead by Saline. Pioneer had the lead at halftime, but since then, Saline came off on a tear at the beginning of the second half, and they have the lead ever since then. Pioneer is in the bonus. Saline has 8 fouls, 5 on Pioneer. Pioneer looking to trying to get a stop here. Dig into the lead is Sweetland. Inbounds, baseline right. Sweetland gets it over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her right. Ella Stemmer over half court. Ella Stemmer gets it back from Kanan. Stewart watching her. Ella Stemmer over into the far corner. Back to Ella Stemmer on the far sideline. Hicks now watching her. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her right, loses the ball, gets the handle back. Bounce pass over to Kanan. Back to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer into the free throw line. Now over into the far corner for Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer, that goes off the top of the glass. Ella Stemmer gets the rebound. Ella Stemmer over to Kanan. Kanan being watched by Stewart. They'll call a reach and foul on Stewart. That will be her 3rd foul. 6 fouls on Pioneer, 1 more, and Saline is in the bonus. Kate Stemmer to inbound over to Kanan. Kanan on that far sideline. Stewart comes over to watch her. Kanan dribbles, works her way around, Right on the blockades. Hands it off to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer dribbles to her right. Ella Stemmer on the far wing. Comes up into the paint. Kicks it over to Wilczynski. Wilczynski back to Kate Stemmer. Back to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer, top of the key. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left to go. Ella Stemmer gets to the free throw line. Kicks it over on the far wing. Over to Kanan. Kanan moves it back to Ella Stemmer on that far sideline. Back over to Kanan. Kanan has Brines watching her. That tipped away, getting it back. That's over and back. As Pioneer never had full possession. Now go over to Pioneer. 2:01 left to go here in the fourth quarter. 6-point lead by Saline. Maya Hicks to inbound. Ella Stemmer watching the inbound. That over to Clark. Clark back to Hicks in the near corner. Hicks puts it up for three. That off the rim, pulled down by Sweetland. Sweetland gets it over on the far side to Wilczynski. Back over to Ella Stemmer. Ella Stemmer, a whistle. Maya Hicks picks up a foul. Now in the bonus is Saline. I believe that's Hicks' first foul. Ella Stemmer to the line. She has 32 points. Puts it up. Puts it in. 33 points. It's easier to just deduct the points everyone else has scored. She has had an amazing game. Ella Stemmer puts it up. Puts it in. 34 points for Stemmer. That pulled ahead by DeWolf. Here comes Pioneer as it's an 8-point lead with 1:44 left to go. DeWolf on the near wing, works her way into the free throw line, puts it up. That rims out. Clark with the rebound, puts it up. That wouldn't fall down as it hit the rim off to the side. Kate Stemmer picks up her fourth foul. Clark goes to the line. Shooting two, Clark. Dribbles, puts it up, puts it in. Nothing but net for Clark. As she swishes. 8 points for Clark, looking to make it 9, trying to get it to a 6-point lead. Clark gets the lead down to 6 for Saline. 1 minute, 36 seconds left to go. Pioneer calls a timeout. Well, let's play a little push on, try and get everybody fired up for the last 96 ticks left of this game. You're watching Pioneer Women's JV Basketball, or Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. 1 minute, 36 seconds left to go here in the fourth. Both teams in the bonus. 6-point lead for Saline. They have the ball. Covington to guard the inbound pass. Baseline right, Sweetland inbound. As Covington trying to make it hard for them to get inbounds. Brines with the Brines grabs the inbound pass. Hicks has it back over to Brines. Brines top of the key, moves it to DeWolf. DeWolf on that far wing, moving it to Clark at the free throw line. Clark back to DeWolf. Hicks. Hicks for three, and Hicks hits it. Maya Hicks with a huge three-pointer. As it's a 3-point game, Ella Stemmer comes over half court. Clark grabs her. Clark gets the foul. Fourth foul on Clark. Stemmer at the line. I don't think she's missed a free throw. For Pioneer, this would be the best time for it to happen. She has every point but 3 for the Saline team. 1 minute, 13 seconds left. Stemmer bends the knees, puts it up. And she misses the first free throw down to the ground. Brines back there. Everyone went to... Jump ball goes to Pioneer. 1 minute, 11 seconds left to go. As I believe Pioneer with the ball. 3-point lead for Saline. Huge possession here for Pioneer. Chance to cut to one or tie it. Hicks on the far side, puts it up off glass. That's just a little short, trying to pull it down. Ellis Stemmer had it. Battle for it underneath. I believe that is 5 for Clark, if my numbers are correct. So Clark is out of the game. 1 minute, 1 second left to go. 3-point lead. But Ellis Stemmer at the line. 9 fouls on Pioneer. 9 fouls on Saline. Stemmer puts it up. Stemmer hits it. 38 points for Saline. 35 for Stemmer. Puts up the next one and hits it. Back to a 5-point lead for Saline. Hicks has it. 1 minute left to go here in the fourth quarter. Hicks on the near wing. Getting it into Covington. Covington off the glass and in. Covington with 6 points. Great pass by Hicks. Great job by Covington. Brines quickly puts a foul as that's on Kanan. That's Brines' third foul. That should be the 10th foul on Pioneer. Puts them in. Puts Saline in the double bonus. Shooting 2 is Kanan. Kanan toes the line, dribbles, puts it up, puts it in. That is the second point for Kanan. Both on free throws. Kanan gets one more coming. 4-point lead. Now it's a 5-point lead as Kanan hits the 6-1, or the second one. 3 points for Kanan. Here comes DeWolf over half court. DeWolf gets right into the paint, puts it up off glass high. That rebound by Ellis Stemmer. 38 seconds left to go. Ellis Stemmer loses the handle. Covington has it. Covington over to Hicks. Hicks on the far wing. Hicks trying to get to the baseline, puts it off glass. Whistle blown. Smaya drives the lane. That's going to be the first foul on Wilczynski. Both teams in the double bonus. Hicks shooting 2. She has a chance to make it a 3-point game. Hicks puts the first one up and in. Maya Hicks with 11 points now. One more free throw coming. Trying to make it a 3-point game. Hicks puts it up and puts it in. 12 points for Hicks. Pioneer needs a huge stop here. They'd love to steal the inbound. Sweetland gets it. Sweetland gets it ahead to Kate Stemmer. Kate Stemmer gets it back into the far corner. Over to Ellis Stemmer. 20 seconds left to go. And finally, Stewart ties her up. 3-point lead by Saline. 18.6 seconds left to go. Ellis Stemmer puts up the first one, puts it in. 2-possession game. One more coming for Ellis Stemmer, and that's going to make it difficult. She hits it. 5-point lead by Saline. 17 seconds left. Pioneer over half court. Hicks has it. Hicks trying to get into paint, puts it up off glass and in. Huge points for Hicks. She has 14. Pioneer again would love to steal this inbound pass. Kanan gets fouled by Stewart. And I think that's it for Stewart. I believe that's 5 fouls for Felissa Stewart.
Felissa Stewart makes the foul with Pioneers. It's her 5th.
So
Kanan at the line.
Kanan in. 3.2 seconds left to go. Even if Kanan misses both of these, Pioneer would have to go the length of the court and get a good solid 3-point shot. If Kanan hits either of these, it's going to be really tough. Pioneer would have to be fouled on the three-pointer. First one up, first one good. Canaan now has 4 points, all free throws. 4-point lead. And the second one missed. Covington has it. Pioneer could use a three-pointer, a foul, and DeWolf couldn't quite get it off in time, as that is a win for Saline. After losing to Bedford, Saline comes back and beats Pioneer in a really, really good game between these two teams. But Ella Stemmer put up every point but 6. So she had 38 points for Saline. 4 points for Canaan, 2 points for Will Chinsky. Over on the Pioneer side, a good group effort as 14 points for Hicks. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Clark. 6 for Covington, 2 for Stewart, 6 for DeWolf, and 3 for Brines. Pioneer falls to 10-2. And Saline goes to 13-1. The next game for Pioneer is going to be at Bedford on the 17th. We'll do our best to bring that to you. We've emailed the Bedford AD, seeing if they'll let us do that. If not, if they have a stream, we will announce that. Thank you so much for watching. For my cameraman, James Wiseman. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much for supporting these teams and cheering on these amazing athletes wherever you are at. Have a fantastic rest of the day. We're off tomorrow. No games tomorrow. We'll be back with the Pioneer women's basketball team on Wednesday. Take care and have a great night. Oh.